Yes, what an odd juxtaposition, you know. Why society has rules and I'm violating them all, you know. Right. You should all be up in arms, you know. The reason they selected Donia is because she's got this personality, she's got this very fastidious obsession with surface seeming reality, you know. She likes to be way under the radar. So like a relationship with me, really, it's impossible, you know. But they lured me here with all this promising, you know, visions and you know all this warm loveliness, and you know I'll get to be a real person and all this stuff, and you know, but it is absolutely impossible. It's absolutely impossible. And so I'd have to cut everything down, you know. And be somebody with no works at all, nothing, you know. I don't know, take a pottery or something, you know, I don't know, something ridiculous like that, you know. And yeah, there's the fact that with her background, it's just so incompatible in so many little ways, you know. It's all really petty stuff, you know. It's all really petty stuff, but you know these things they come between you know these little gauzy barriers are too much to punch through, you know. Right, because people are so retarded. But she knows better. She knows that you gotta comport yourself in just such a way, or else it can't work. You know, it just can't work. Yep. So that's something I've been you know dealing with, coming into the realization of. So I'm gonna move on. You know, gonna move on. Yeah, yeah, they'll continue. You know, make no mistake, whoever you are out there, you don't think that they manipulate you sometimes. You don't think they're above killing you. They'll kill you if it suits their purposes. I promise. They'll do anything to anybody. They're the wicked. They're the wicked of the earth. If you didn't know. And all this, I mean, it's talked about in the Bible. All this shit. Hmm. Oh yes, let me just you know let me. I'm not even really you know I don't glom on to supernatural explanations for things. You know, I want to know the gritty details, and you know, very much a scientist. You know, I'm not a mystic. I really am not. You know, but hey, there it is. There it is. And a lot of this stuff, I mean, it is derived from prescient visions. You have to know that. It is. It is. You look at the other, you know, you look at the other spiritual, you know, texts, the religious books, you know, and that also is derived from visions and prescient visions. It is. The CIA, they know all about that shit, and they use it, and they use it for their own purposes, their own evil agenda. Oh, okay. I woke up this morning to discover that I'm all the more drawn, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. All night, they're trying to pick the lock. As I awaken at like 5 in the morning, it was strange. I saw this weird little maze pattern. It's like this blossoming, this emanation, this repeated emanation, pulsing of these patterns with like this earth coloration. Very strange, very strange. And I was buzzing, and there's a high pitched whine in my ears, and I would say the field strength of the EMF was moderate. You know, just working on me a little bit. Not they it's like they still want me to stay in the area because they're working. They're trying to manipulate things in just such a way that that I will um, uh, be taken in again. And tortured more. hmm So I was lured here, under a mix of authentic visions, uh, which they initiated, uh, which they provoked the remembrance of, as well as modified, um, digitally modified visions. And I've briefly described the software that I saw them using, and this machine where they obtain a lot of these frequencies. Or rather, I put that in a little subtitle. I so often omit key information, in what I say, my dialogue, and then I put it in the subtitles. A lot of people are going to gloss over that. Anyway, I mean these are digital. It's manipulated digitally. These are programs. These are the software programs. It's not terribly complicated to use. Any technician could do it. I could do it. You could do it. Just play around with it. It'd be fun. It'd be interesting. Um, but yeah, I mean, they showed me how to do it and all the things that could be done with it. Oh boy, all the terrifying things that could be done with it. Oh boy. And they threatened me after, like, hey, we're going to do this, that, and the other thing if you don't go along with the program, you know. So I woke up, and it's all just seemingness. It's all just, I don't know. The words are arsenic studies, came to mind. Evidently, they like to do chemical studies on you. They like to do electromagnetic frequency studies, and sure, sure, just gathering more and more data, you know, for future manipulation of people. Sure. These things can be sold off, right, shared, with other organizations that have a similar agenda. Sure, sure. And I mentioned the possibility, this could be used in future entertainment, and it could be used. This kind of technology, I mean, could be used in place of like going to a classroom setting. You'd actually experience, the experience of somebody else, somebody who's thought to be important or intelligent or whatever, from the past. You know, you'd learn in their skin, so to speak. You this is just dazzlingly incoherent. I mean, yeah. I need to use notes. It's hard. It's hard. So all this promise, supposed promise with this relationship, you know, with Donia, and I'm sure a lot of that's derived from the original authentic visions, you know, which they've induced me to revisit, you know. But then all this horrifying stuff and all these downsides, like, right, so they're just trying to warn me away, you know. But this stuff probably won't even happen, you know. And it's just fantastically, you know, awful. And I'm sure there are people out there say, well, you're making entreaties to this woman, and yet you've admitted you can't protect her and all this, you know. Well, you know, you'd have to live like Saddam Hussein, you know, to be safe from people like this. Ultimately, I mean, but there's a lot of little things you can do, and it really, you know, there's not much they can do. As I've said, you know, RF shielded environment, they're fairly inexpensive products. They can do that, and you know, there are of course other things they can do, but you know, it just makes it really difficult. And I have thought what I've thought simply is that if we do partner up, I really will be safe and beyond their grasp. And you know, they can't do with what they want with me, you know, and their plans aren't going to work out. And you know, there it is. I'm not going along at all with that. So now they try, you know, through pain compliance, and you know, they do a lot of stuff to me. You know, with nanotech, possibly with these implants, I don't know. You know, it's very hard to get an MRI. You know, there are laws that make that very complicated that apply in most states. You know, and there's been a big push to do that because to shield the U.S. government from lawsuits. Shield the U.S. government from lawsuits. Mm-hmm. You know, people hear about all this evil stuff, and the mind recoils. You know, and it does not mirror their experience. You know, they're very happy, humdrum experience. So, um, you know, they distance themselves from the very possibility. You know, and it does not seem credible. You know, and in looking at, you know, the things I was, you know, viewing one of my own videos, and I was trying to be very detached and objective about it. I was trying to put myself in the shoes of somebody else, you know, of just somebody else. And you know, I'm looking at this man, and I'm thinking this guy he doesn't care at all about anything, you know. And if I didn't know any better, I'd say maybe he's a robot or something. It's just programming. It is just programming. And I was aware of that, and I was aware of the, you know, I was aware of that, and it did bother me. But you know, I thought, well, you got to do this. It's provocative. It's strange, and it attracts attention. You know, it attracts viewers. I thought, but then again, you know, it's off-putting. So it's there's a lot it does. I mean, and I'm sorry, you know, but you know, they programmed me to do this. Just looking at a camera triggers it. You know, it's hard. It's hard to act in an authentic way and show my true feelings, and it just is. I'm sorry about that. In person, I'm a different person. I really am. So I'm not the only source of information about Donia. You know, I'm sure they may have, you know, found other people who uh, have prescience, under the right conditions, a vision of the future brought on by the use of psychedelic drugs, and they may have known about her from you know other sources. The idea that they don't have like a detailed file on a real thick file that's digital, on every person in America, they do. They simply do. And I was told further that they actually know when there's some kind of, supposedly there's a satellite, or maybe it's just ground radar or something, but they know if you die. Like they'll know the moment you die. You don't have to have an implant or anything. You yourself are a transceiver. Your whole body is in some sense. So they know the moment you die. They know where they know where all the dead bodies are. Is what I'm saying. So in theory, I mean, all the crimes, all the every case of homicide, could be solved. They have the technology. But instead, it's useful for social engineering. Anyway, they got all these criminals in their employ, so But yeah, I mean, basically, I mean, sure, you'd have to live like Saddam Hussein to be. Well, there's a documentary I watched about his the security measures he would employ. I mean, you'd have to do that, sure, to be totally safe. It's like the other day, and I think they wanted me many years ago thinking about I don't know, means of infiltration into I came up with the idea of mouse drones, little mouse drones, like you should radio frequency operated, but then like what if you get into a RF shielded environment, you'd have to switch over to an AI program, you know go in there and then retrace the steps and then get out and okay, examine that feed, and then program it, with some instructions, and then it goes in and right, it poisons the oatmeal or whatever, or perches atop somebody's chest and injects a heart attack drug or something. You know. Yeah, I really love talking about this stuff. Yeah, it's just really cast me in a good light. I know. Yep. So they lured me here during like a key period of my life. I could have just walled myself off somewhere, finished my book. It would have been astounding just as it was. I've since uncovered more aspects of their designs. They're going to run the same. It's so easy. They can run the same operation on any number of people. Same old tactics work and work and work and work and work and work. That's the truth. That's been proven in war after war after war after war after war after war. This is a cold civil war that I'm involved in. I'm sorry. That's just how it is. I'm sorry. I am who I am. I'm sorry. And you're in the midst of this. I don't care. You're watching this video. You're in the midst of this, and this is a worldwide phenomenon. It's across the board. It isn't global because we're not on a globe, but it's across the board on this level playing field. hmm Just saying. They don't want you to know it's a level playing field. They don't want you to know how weak they are. They want you to think that they're just boundlessly strong, you know. So I mean, in any case, you need to stand up against these people. You know, you need to stand up against them and not fear them so much. I mean, I'm one man alone, and you know, you guys think, oh, they just kill you. No, no, that's not what they do. That's not what they do with people, and they do this with a lot of people. You think I'm crazy, don't you? Well, they won. They win. They win. The microwave oven, invented in the 40s, or you know, made public. Well, it was made public that microwaves can heat up water in the 40s. You think the microwave oven is the only application? Well, you know, the Wi-Fi that's a microwave. Your smartphone functions off of microwaves. It does. It does. You emit electromagnetic radiation. Your frequency is different than other people's frequency. I mean, when the egg and the sperm came together, your mother and father, you know, each having their own particular vibrating of their own particular rate, you know, it created a new frequency, you know, influenced by all the celestial radiation bombarding it, and existed in its own sort of electromagnetic weather, so to speak. Influenced gene expression, all kinds of stuff. Things that are finer than that. There's nothing random. There's nothing. We live in a spiritual world. And so, you know, they like, you know, they want to maintain things or develop things in a certain way. You know, they're into a lot of dark stuff. They like sadism and masochism, and every sadist is actually a masochist as well. So, you know, that's how it is. You know, they serve their masters, people with more money than them. We want to maintain the status quo. Don't want any upset. Don't like competitors. Mm-hmm. That's all it is. Right. So it's endless, you know, what they'll do. But you don't need to be afraid of them. You know, there's whole lot more of you. There's a whole lot more decent people in the world than there are these monsters. You know, but they're running things. You see, because you turned a blind eye to it. So Donia thinks I'm a terrorist. She's got people whispering in her ear that, and she's been programmed to think this. You know, they've been aware of her whole life. You know, this is the case with anybody really. They knew of me before I was born. That's the truth, friends. Prescience is real. People seeing the future, that's real. All these religious texts, you know, it's a product of these prescient visions, you know, for the most part, it is. They got all these different anyway, all these different predictions. Look into it, friends. Look into it. So you know, they're playing me off against Donia because she really can't handle it. You know, she's that kind of person, and she's very obsessive about surface seeming stuff. You know, very fastidious that way. You know, so somebody like me, who digs down too deep, you know, to where it makes people uncomfortable, and you know, it would never work. So my time is being wasted here. My time and effort, my life bar is going down. You know, so yeah, that's what's going on here. So I'm going to flee the scene. You know, taking off probably tonight. You know, it is. And I'll never know. And it was so intriguing. You know, I'll just never know. You know, what was true and what was false. You know, and they've had somebody playing her and leading me to believe, I don't buy it, that there's an attempt to lead me to believe that she's part of it. She's part of it, and she'll take the little portion of my soul that's, you know, that's owed to her. You know, that kind of thing. Seems that I don't know. I would just get the vague impression that they had arranged, you know, to have some poor bastard, which they'd conditioned in a certain way, to stand her up at the altar or something, and they'd maybe, it had been a long, and you know, they'd been together for a while, and then they re-triggered his programming in this really catastrophic domino chain, and then I don't know, he came out as gay, and you know, he wasn't actually gay, but he is now, I guess. Now, I'm not insinuating that everybody who's gay is just, it's just a result of the CIA's programming. You know, these deep state Satanist, satanic cult assholes. No, I'm not suggesting that. Not really. Yeah. It could be, you know, sure. There's a whole lot more possibilities, but it's interesting. You've always had the wicked of the earth, you know, present here with us. Seemingly, they're possessed by demons. I don't know. Demons, I don't know. They're thought forms. I don't know. But it's kind of weird, you know. I don't know. They take on a life of their own. You can transmit them through the air, you know, unseen, and through electromagnetic pulses, you know, that affect the nervous system. And sure, these are facts, friends. And you can look up the patents. And in fact, yeah, they weren't destroyed in 1973. Yep. The worst of it, the worst of the technology, you don't get to know about. But I've seen some of it firsthand with my own two eyes, as mentioned. So, you know, here I am, this wasted loser, you know, right. And that's how it seems. And there it is, you know, a wasted loser who's lost his marbles, you know, and we'll never find them again, you know. Oh, yeah, therapy, that's a waste of time. Yeah, that's a waste of time for me. Yeah. I mean, well, you know, they're not equipped. The average therapist is not equipped. I mean, you know what I tried to do? I tried to get a session with a hypnotherapist, because they can actually get in there and have you talk about all the programming and everything that, you know, was done. But you know what they did to this poor woman? You know what they did? They made her sick. They poisoned her. Yeah, they gave her the flu. She was throwing up, and she had I think she had pneumonia, actually. It was really, really bad. So she had to call off our appointment like twice, you know. Really well-meaning person, you know. And I told her, yeah, I'm the victim of MK Ultra. She had, and I, you know, recounted what I had recalled, and she had had, you know, some very limited dealing with people like me, you know, in the past. And she had been, you know, looking into it during that time frame. Interestingly, she thought it was a big synchronicity, and you know, and I said, well, yeah, you know, I warned her. Yeah, it is dangerous to, you know, it is dangerous to. I kind of feel a little torn, you know. It is dangerous for you to be associating with me, and you know, because they may not want that, you know, me to be deprogrammed, and sure, sure. So you know, right, you know, it anyway. Yeah, yeah. Communication, you know, person to person communication. It's old fashioned, but it works, you know. Yeah, all the rest of it, you don't know what you're getting. I promise you, you don't know what you're getting. Please, you know, even though the money will never reach me, go try to buy some of my art on Redbubble. You know, try to. It's like public type art, most of it. I mean, some of it's stuff that you would display in your home, but you know, just all kinds of different, you know, stuff. You know, somebody said they couldn't find, you know, the page, the John Boy McCracken page, all lowercase, all one word, John Boy McCracken. But I don't know, maybe that was a mislead. So please do that, and then maybe do a little review of it. Yeah, this is some really highly unique stuff, and you know they were really trying to discourage me against doing anything in that realm, because you know what I'm gathering is you know people are gonna you know I'd become Instagram famous like overnight because this stuff is so damn unique, you know, and people be asking about like where can I get that? What the hell? Oh, it's from Redbubble. It's the artist is John Boy McCracken, you know. Oh, he's got this crazy YouTube channel. I don't know what to make of it. It's just mainly it's entertaining, I guess. You know, I mean, you could make a video about. I don't know. I mean, if you show it, and then I find out, hey, I'm not making any money. You know, I could say, well, hey, this person has my product here, and there was no money deposited into my account as a result. So what's that about? You know, then I'd have that. That would be evidence. You know, please go to Redbubble, and I mean, this is just practical stuff. You know, like T-shirts and dresses and coffee mugs and iPhone covers and you know that kind of thing. I'm shortly going to post up another artwork. It's a lot more colorful, and it's incredibly unique. I've got all kinds of great ideas, and I don't want to be so superficial, just be some silly artist. You know, maybe my time is better spent, but that I like doing some art now and again, and I was trying to just generate a little bit of income, to operate on. That's all I was trying to do. Because nothing else is working out, and they told me they're going to do this to me. Of course, long ago they said I could never make any money online. They would prevent that, and it would go to them. you know. So, but yeah, I mean, you know, if you're able to buy it, then and if you're not able to buy it, make a video about that. Just have the camera here, looking at the screen, like, yo, I'm trying to let's try to find John Boy McCracken on Redbubble. You know, one word, all lowercase. Oh, there's nothing popping up, nothing. You know, do that. You know, do that, please. Stand up for you know, freedom and justice. You know, stand up for online equality. You know, this ought not to be. You know, if you can't buy or sell, I mean, that bodes ill, doesn't it, friends? If you can't buy or sell, you know. Oh, but I'm a bad person, so I can't be talking about the Book of Revelation or anything. You people are fools. You people are fools. People should. I don't care what you think. Everybody should be able to buy and sell. You know. And first, you know, they came for the communists, and I did nothing because I wasn't a communist. Then they came for the anarchists. I did nothing because I wasn't an anarchist. And then they came for the, you know, the vegans. You know, I did nothing because I hate those people. Because they were snippy with me one time, and you know, I'm glad that Iranian girl. I'm glad they framed her and killed her, and you know, somebody probably had a somebody didn't like you know, vegans. They thought she was a useless bitch, you know, some useless uppity bitch. Yeah, wasting her time, you know, doing yoga and dance videos and stuff on YouTube. So they killed her, you know. Yeah, she owned a pistol for her own defense, you know. Um, yeah, I mean, where's the surveillance footage, you know? Oh, we don't want to see that. We don't want to see that. Yeah, it's, I want to say we see some grainy surveillance footage. It's just too graphic. Yes, we're a bunch of neo-Victorian douchebags, you know. Like that would upset our um, after dinner enjoyment or whatever the hell. I don't know. I don't know.